And we are live. Welcome to a special edition of the K&K Sports Show, tonight featuring Kurt Valenti and Joey Clams Fredette. How you doing tonight, guys?
What's going on?
How are you? How you
Tonight,
doing?
Tonight we will focus on the problem with the Yankees. But before we dive right into it, Clams, I have want to spend a little time chatting with you about something that's definitely near and dear to my heart as an educator. And you were talking about this recently on the Michael K show, and we want to give it a mention tonight as well about children and teenagers and young adults with disabilities and, affording them opportunities in the workforce. Would you like to talk about that for a moment?
Yeah, and even adults like myself, because I'm disabled. I lost my eyesight 13 years ago, partial eyesight. So, and we're trying to get out there, trying to work, and trying to earn a living. It's tough out there. So I want everybody, like, if you have a business or if you know somebody that has a business and it can help and open the doors and let these kids, let these adults in and give them work. Let me tell you, they're pretty sharp too. I can see them on the computers. I work with some of them. I see them, and they're really good kids and adults. We need help. So please, lend a hand, open the door. Thank you.
Thank you, Clams. And we got a comment already. Kenny Kirkpatrick's commenting in saying, let's go. Been waiting for this all week. And the reason he's been waiting all week, right, guys, is for those of you that are K&K fans, Kenny and Scoops did a state of the New York Yankees last week. And Clams, I'm going to quote you, after their show, you were hot as a pistol, right? So tonight is the Kurt and Clams rebuttal. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Kurt and Clams, and your reaction to the Kenny and Scoops Yankee show last week.
Well, Clams, thank you again for doing this. Again, this is one of our, another show on the K&K Sport Network that we're building. Again, we do our K&K, but we're going to be doing all kinds of different shows. And tonight, as it's our debut of this one, Clams. And like Jen said, we were down the shore in Lavalette, and you kept calling. Take this call. I'm hot as a pistol. So I'm going to let you go first to debate on what you saw and heard from Mr. Kirkpatrick and Mr. Scoop Woodhams last week or 2 weeks ago in the Yankee show.
Well, Kenny, what's his last name? Fitzpatrick?
Kirkpatrick.
Kirkpatrick, right? Well, Kenny, he claims to be a Yankee fan. And this year, at the beginning of baseball previews that we did, he said since he's living in Maryland, and I know he only maybe watches one Yankee game a week, he said, I'm going to be looking at this Baltimore team. They look pretty good. I'm going to be rooting for them. If you're a Yankee fan, you never root for a team in your division, especially a big rivalry. That was the biggest. Forget about the Red Sox being a rivalry. The Baltimore Orioles were the biggest Yankees rivalries in the 60s and in the 70s and the 80s also. But in the 60s, they used to, from 65 on, they used to pound us. That was a big rivalry. How could you say that you're going to be rooting for the Orioles when they're in your division? It makes no sense. I don't know. That's not a Yankee fan to me. And Scoop's been a Yankee fan for 3 days. He's coming up, looking at the computer, looking at the numbers, and he made a comment like, "Well, batting average doesn't mean anything. Batting average doesn't mean anything. They're 28. They're bottom in the league in batting averages, and they don't hit any home runs. So that goes out the window." So I just didn't get it. And they were giving grades, and they gave this Connor Filippa, they gave him a grade in the first part of the season as an A. A. When you grade somebody with an A, that's an all-star. That's Judge gets a grade of an A. Cole gets a grade of an A. Not some utility player who can't even play the outfield. He looks like he's juggling grenades out there.
Well, Clams, I want to jump in with you too, because I totally agree with you. And this goes back to my whole theory of tiers, right? You got to have tiers. Like you said to me today, Acuna is an A. Ohtani is an A. You can't put IKF as an A. First off, he got beat. He was here to be the shortstop. He got beat out by Anthony Volpe, who's batting 200. 200. He got beat out by him. He doesn't start on this team. How can he get an A? Maybe an A, maybe to be a locker room guy. But on the field, he can't even get break. And listen, the team stinks, and he can't get into the lineup, and he's getting an A. I get it. I can't get that.
This is Major League Baseball. This isn't Little League where mommy, daddy are the coaches and you're getting a participation award. These two guys gave, both of them agreed on it. Oh, I agree with you. Yes, I agree with the A. Are you out of your mind? Are you kidding me? This ain't Little League. It's not mommy and daddy ball.
And then
I
believe Clams, Gleyber Torres wasn't a B plus or an A. Gleyber Torres has been, you talk about, he's the next, he's a Hall of Famer. What is by the way, the Cubs still won that trade, right? The Cubs get Chapman. They won a World Series. How many World Series have the Yankees won with Torres? None. Cubs won that trade. Okay. But all I hear is this guy, oh my God, he's, best second baseman baseball. Going into today, 263. How many games have we watched where he's just lost games on stupid plays, base running, errors in the field? B plus for him?
Absolutely not. He gets, to me, he gets a D because he doesn't hustle. When you're not hustling and you're slowing down, running down the line, that means you're giving the other team a chance to win. So you're throwing the game, and he does that on the field too. He's so nonchalant. But the thing is, they ruin these players. They don't fix them. He's supposed to be fixed. Going back to Sanchez, he was another guy who's supposed to be fixed. All these guys, what happened? They don't fix them. They just kept doing it and doing the same mistakes all over and over. He gets a D for me.
I'm going to get a few comments in here, Kurt, before we proceed. You got Carson checking in saying, "What's up, boys?"
What's up, Carson?
Hey, Carson, how you doing?
Some rebuttals to your rebuttals from Kenny and Scoops, who are tuning in. Kenny saying, my response, I'm a baseball fan. The Orioles play baseball and play hard. Why would I not root for some kids who play hard and not expected to go anywhere? Scoops is saying, if Kenny only watches one game a week, I wonder how many Kurt watches. Torres is on a 13-game hitting streak and one of the best players in Judge's absence.
One of the best players. The best players.
Listen, I'm glad. You see what happens? Soon as they have one good game,
against the Royals. The Royals.
This is not about today or just this year. This is a 5-year process that's been going on since Boone's took over, since Cashman.
No. Let me correct you on that, Joe. A 5-year failure. 5-year failure.
Kenny claimed to be a Yankee fan.
I mean, I just don't understand. Listen we're going to talk about this. This is as of yesterday. Okay. As of yesterday, because I did my homework. I think it was yesterday. No, I'm sorry. As of Friday. Trevino's gone, so we're not going to talk. Rizzo, 247. Torres, 263. Volpe, a whopping 207. Remember? Volpe, look at Volpe's parents are here. Look at Volpe. He's put all your money on rookie of the year.
I'll give him a pass because he's young, but you know what? He tries hard.
Yeah, he does. He does. But he's batting 207.
I give him a pass.
But he's batting 207. LeMahieu, 231. Cabrera, one of their untouchable minor leaguers, 208. Ready for this one? Bader hits one home run, and he's pointing in the stands like this, blowing kisses. He's pointing. Before you blow kisses, you play 10 consecutive games. Seriously, this guy's never on the field, and he's pointing when he hits a home run against the Royals.
And Monday night, he ran down he didn't even run down the base. He walked down the base. He didn't run the ball out. Who were you to do that?
Right.
Where do you get your onions big enough to do that wearing a Yankee uniform?
Get
out of here. Go back to St. Louis.
Judge 291.
He's a dime a dozen.
Ready for Stanton? This is the guy. Not only are you paying him $37 million a year now, I think you're paying him for at least another 4 years, $37 million. Ready? Stanton, batting 198, 13 home runs, about 32 RBIs. He's worth the $37 million. He's worth that $37 million. IKF, who they gave an A to, 250. He's batting 250. 5 home runs and 24 RBIs. 250. And they gave him an A. And he can't start. He can't break the lineup.
All right.
You ever see him he collides with people in left field all the time. He collides into the wall. He collides into the center fielder. He's juggling grenades out there.
We got Mikey the Mush checking in saying, why wait until the deadline to make moves? The trade deadline, the time is now. The longer you wait, the bigger hole you're going to get in. It's a comedy show. I'm just going to get a couple comments here, Kurt. We also got Eddie Murphy coming in saying, I'm hoping the Yankees finish under 500, so Cash and Boone are gone. Sonny Black is calling it a AAA lineup. So we got some people who are looking to vent about the Yankees for sure.
Yeah, listen, and Joe, couple more things. So the Yankees get swept. Okay, first off, all I hear, Houston cheated with the cameras, and first off, they cheated with the cameras. How did they have cameras at Yankee Stadium and they still beat you at Yankee Stadium? So stop that. Okay, but then next year, here we go. We're ready. We got Judge. We got Stanton. We got Torres. You got swept. And you know what the big decision was to come back with this team? Joe, they signed Frenchie Cordero, batting 194, 5 home runs, 12 home. Hey, we got Frenchie Cordero to play him in the outfield. What did they do? And they brought up Volpe. They got Rodon. Listen, Rodon might be gone by the trade deadline. He's not lasting here. He's been a bust. We're gonna get into the busts in a second. But
they didn't even take a look at Bryce Harper when he was a free agent. He wanted to be a Yankee.
I mean, what is that?
Well, I'll get into that with Cashman and that whole philosophy he said 5 years ago.
But I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not giving anybody. I'm going to give Cole an A, maybe B plus A. Nobody else gets anything more than a C on this team. Who could you give a grade to? IKF. I would give him a D. He can't play. He's benched. He's a bench player now. You took in $50 million in Josh Donaldson, who is an absolute joke, and IKF. 50. So when they turn around and say, well, why aren't the Yankees going and spending money? You know what? Steinbrenner is spending money. Cashman's blowing it on garbage. That's garbage players. They're garbage. IKF and Donaldson?
You're better off going to the track and taking a shot down.
Seriously. We're laughing, but come on. Do something. That's what your off-season plan was Rodon and Frenchie Cordero and bring up Anthony Volpe?
They're such a bad team.
Kurt, I have a comment with a question directed to Joey Clams.
Okay.
Clams, this is from Kenny. He's asking, would Joey Clams be happy with Cody Bellinger at the deadline?
Absolutely. That's a lefty. This is what happens. Look back 2-3 years ago in the playoffs. They went with an all-righty team. How could you have that when your right field is 314 down the line, the shortest right field in baseball, and you didn't have any lefties in the lineup? That is disgraceful. It's a disgrace. You need lefties at Yankee Stadium. Look at the history. Hey, Scoops, look at the history. Go back and look.
All right, we got Scoop checking in saying Kurt loves to talk about how you want guys hitting in big moments, but doesn't reference these splits when it comes to IKF.
Well, what moments? I watched IKF in the playoffs last year. I don't want to hear, well, in the 8th inning against the Royals. Come on. Stop. What did he do in the postseason last year? He didn't play. They
got
benched him. He got benched. Think about this. He got benched in the postseason. What does that have to tell you? Well, look what he did versus the Oakland A's. Stop.
That's a what do you call that? What is that? A 4A. That's a 4A team. The Royals.
Right. Come on. Stop. He's not a starter.
Thank God the Royals play more sloppy than the Yankees. With
Joe,
their
he's
baseball
not
and their defense that we swept them. Well, thank God we did.
Joe, he's not a major league starter. He's not on a good team. I mean, not on a good team. On bum teams, yeah, but not on a good team. When you go to the playoffs and you get benched, you're done. You're done. It just tells you everything. Whereas that trade was a colossal flop to add $50 million to a guy. Did Donaldson even bat 180? Was he batting 180? But he hit, 10, he was 10 for 140, but he hit 8 home runs. I mean, just bum, total disaster. IKF bench guy. Just come on.
Thank God there's 6 teams that make the playoffs. Did you see last year in 9 playoff games, they had 9 They had 5 different lineups, which at shortstop. 5 different lineups at shortstop. They couldn't get it right, and they had the kid in left field. He ran into Hicks. They collided. They can't get anything right. Oswald Cabrera. They're running into each other. They have no third baseman. They had no shortstop. Listen, I like Volpe. I don't think he's a polished shortstop. He might be better at second. I don't know. They don't have a second base.
And again, but here's the problem. We're going to get into this. Here's the problem with, oh my God, Anthony Volpe's there. Anthony Volpe, listen, newsflash, he's not going to be Derek Jeter. So get that out of your mind. And first off, Anthony Volpe's got to ask Brett Gardner to wear number 11.
Yeah.
Oh, what? What?
Gardner.
For what? For what?
Couldn't wait for him to once the guy started playing every day, his slip was showing. You could see.
I mean, we're asking, we're asking him for permission to wear a jersey. Why?
Yeah, who's Brett Gardner?
Who's Brett Gardner? Are you joking? Well, anyway, just stop with these prospects. We're going to get into that, but listen, let him do what he's got to do. Get on base a little, steal, play. That's all we want him to do. That's it. He's not Derek Jeter. He's not going to be Derek Jeter. He's not going to, he's not going to be a $30 million player. No. Little, what he's going to be? A little scrappy player. That's what we want. That's it.
I'm going to give him a pass because he's young and he busts his butt at in the games. But I don't think he's a shortstop. Right now, he doesn't look like a shortstop, and hopefully they can fix his swing because he's starting to get into that bad habit of uppercutting the ball, and that's where you're going to be batting 200 and under 200 when you do that. A couple of weeks ago, he was on top of the ball, and he was hitting. Now he's uppercutting the ball again.
I mean,
Kurt, can I catch up on a couple comments here? You guys are I don't want to miss on our people who are commenting in here. We got Mike the Mush saying he's canceled his Apple TV in Prime because he can't even watch anymore. Joey Clams, he gave you a shout out that you should be the new GM as well. Eddie Murphy commenting in that he's Holmes being a B+ player, and also saying that he lost faith in Cashman when he passed on Harper and Machado, 2 guys who wanted to be there. So we also got a check in from Richie Rocco saying, "What's up, my man?"
Hey, my man. What's up, my man?
Tracy Ann checking in saying, "Hey guys, glad she's tuning in for the Yankees here." And Sonny Black saying, "Just bad managing. Clams, you loved Volpe in preseason. Now you threw him away like Marge at the 4 E's." And
number one, I never said that. I'm not a pom-pom guy like Michael Kay, the commander in chief of the Yankee Boy Club. When Volpe hit his grand slam, he says, "Oh, he took Derek Jeter 10 years to hit his first grand slam." Why are you even saying that? Why even mention that? Well, he's management, so he's gonna try to camouflage everything, and all the sheep, the Yankee fans, like a guy like Scoop, who's a sheep, who still believes in this philosophy, in this team, and the analytics that they're doing.
Right, we're gonna get into that in a second, Joe. Yeah. But by the way, back to Scoops. Last season in their postseason run to the ALCS, I know the Yankees played more than 6 games, correct? Because Kiner Falefa only played in 6 games. He was 5 for 18. He played in 6 games. 6. Well, they lost in 4 to the Astros, so he didn't play versus the Astros. He was benched by then. So I don't know what postseason Scoops is saying he had a good postseason. Maybe on PlayStation, but not in real life because he only got 18 at bats and that in the whole postseason. So
he couldn't catch a cold at shortstop.
He got benched.
They had to get him out of there. Yeah, what's he talking about, this guy?
All right, Jenny Hoops.
Kurt and Clams, I'm just going to move you along a little bit to, do you feel you sufficiently addressed the breakdown of the current team? You want to move on to the top 3 problems?
Sure.
All right, Clams, I'm going to come to you first. What do you think the top 3 problems are with the New York Yankees?
It's the front office. It's the coaching. The coach, the manager, and the coaches in that dugout are terrible. It's the worst coaching staff I've been a Yankee fan 50 plus years. This is worse than the Stump Merrill year. In that dugout, who are those coaches? Who are these people? Who are they? I don't know who they are. That's the worst coaching staff. They don't practice before games. You can see that. They don't take reps. They're very bad fundamentally. It's terrible. There's no old Yankees. Where's all the Yankees in that dugout? Where's Willie Randolph? Where's John Flaherty? Where's Lee Mazzilli? Where are these guys? I don't know who these other guys are. They threw Reggie out of the building. And the big problem is no lefty power hitting. Oh, now they're starting. They have no lefty power. Where's your lefty power? Now you're starting to bring up these ham and eggers. You had a chance against Bryce Harper. You don't want to get him. It's Yankee Stadium. Look up all the times they won the championships. Look at all the lefties they had. I could go on forever about that. Matsui, Cano, Johnny Damon. That's on one team. I'm not even getting. It's crazy. It's crazy that this guy, Cashman, this is what he said. Lefties were going to be dinosaurs. It came out of his mouth. They were going to be out of baseball. He went with an all-righty team with all DHs. They got too many guys in one position. Stan's a right fielder. Judge is a right fielder. Well, you clog up too many holes. You see Stanton trying to play right field. You see Rocky. Remember the Rocky movie when he was trying to chase the chicken? That's Stanton trying to chase the ball in the corner, like Rocky was chasing the chicken. Come on.
We got a couple comments. We got Tracy Ann saying she votes for Don Mattingly for manager. Jody Monk.
There you go, Tracy.
Yeah.
Jody Monk saying #fire Boone. I'm sure you can get that trending. Mikey the Mush saying Aaron Boone is more like a friend than a no-nonsense manager. And Sonny Black saying, where's Don Zimmer?
You know what? I'll answer my three. Top, Jen and Joe. Number one, Brian Cashman. He is an absolute disaster. And we're going to get into this. But, first off, he was given, what do they say? You're given a Ferrari, right? And he just destroyed it, right? Absolutely destroyed it. You look at these 90 teams, right? They had Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, Jeter. Me and Jen were watching the Jeter document, and you're just like, oh my God, these guys were always clutch. They're clutch, right? They're not pointing. This is like a circus now, a circus on this team. I'm telling you, Bader hits one home run. He's 1 for 4. He hits one home run, and he's pointing in the stands. Gleyber Torres is doing this. What are you? Seriously, this team has won nothing. Nothing. Nobody besides Rizzo won with the cup. These guys have won nothing. And pointing in the stands. But Cashman's number one. He destroyed this team. You don't win, and 2 is philosophy. You don't win home run or strikeout. I mean, it's idiotic. It's asinine. It's the same thing. You watch college, you watch football, right? You watch football. We're going to throw it 60 times. Then you get to the postseason, they throw it 60 times. You're down 38-3 and the game's over. Basketball, Mike D'Antoni. Oh, we're going to score 152 points a game. Then in the playoffs, you lose. Same story. You win with pitching and you win with timely hitting, getting on base. You're in a playoff series. Right? You're 16 strikeouts, 17. It's embarrassing. And they're coming back with the same team. You're not playing the Royals in the postseason. You're not playing the Oakland A's 4th pitcher in the postseason. When you play the Astros and you did Verlander and company, 13 strikeouts, 16 strikeouts, 7. Where's the philosophy? Frenchie Cordero is going to help him with that this year. He's going to help him with that. That's 2. And 3, the pitching staff is still a joke. Okay. You got Cole, you paid for, you got Cole because you were the highest bidder. That's why you didn't trade for him. You just signed him, which you had an advantage. We're going to get to that. But the pitching staff, who are you pitching in a series? You're in a playoff series tomorrow. Who's pitching number 2? Rodon? You're going to play Rodon?
Hey, you know what?
Come on, Joe. Come on. It's bad, man.
2 years ago, you know what? When they should, who their best pitcher was all these years was Tanaka when they let him go. Like when Cole pulled his groin, Cole was hurt to pitch that wild card game against the Red Sox a couple of years ago. You could have had Tanaka in there. Tanaka was your money pitcher in the playoffs, and you let him go. Listen. There's so many things. You got your top 3, which. There's so many things about
There's so many.
That's bad.
And Boone, Joe Boone, listen, Boone is a puppet. It's hands down, he is a puppet. This and we're going to get into the analytics. I'll say it again for the people. There's no such thing. Analytics is the biggest BS thing. There's no such thing with analytics, right? Analytics, Joe, analytics is basically, what do I do with my players who are not good, right? Here's my example. I'm going to say it to you, and I just thought about this all day again. Just say you're playing against, give me Valdez against Houston, right? I'm just going to throw this out. Analytics. So say against Valdez, Bader, LeMahieu, and Volpe hit Valdez very good, but Judge and Stanton struggle. Like judges say, I'm just throwing this number out. Not that I'm just throwing this out. Just say he's 3-4, 34 with 16 strikeouts. If it was true at analytics, Bader and LeMahieu will be up. Judge would be dropped in the lineup, but it's not going to happen. He's going to bat second. Why? Because he's Aaron Judge, right? Why? Because he's Ronald Acuna, right? It's because he's Pete Alonso. It's garbage. It's fake. It's fake news. It's fake stuff. It's only man. Okay, well, I'm going to play kind of Falefa instead of Cabrera. That's not analytics. That's who am I going to play with two guys that aren't good? So that's what I'm going to do, right? If Cole can't beat the Astros, are you not going to pitch Cole in a series? You got to pitch Cole. He's your best pitcher. There's no analytics with that. Where's the analytics?
Let me tell you something. The way they handle this pitching staff is terrible. And, they'll get away with it in the regular season. You see in the playoffs what happens. He has no clue what to do because there's no analytics in the playoffs because it's different now.
Right.
He took out before the All-Star break against the Cubs. It was a 3-1 lead. He takes out Human. He had 71 pitches. He was pitching a one-hitter. He takes him out. And the bullpen that's supposed to be the best part of the Yankees, it's been a gas tank for the last 3 weeks. They've been losing games in the 7th and the 8th and the 9th inning because of the bullpen. This guy's got to let the starting pitchers go. Get to the 7th. Try to creep into the 8th inning.
Exactly.
You can't go to the bullpen starting in the 5th inning every game.
Well, let me ask you this. Joe, let me get to this. Who decides that baseball changed? So the 90 Yankees couldn't win today? Jeter and that crew wouldn't win today? Are you out of your mind? That's baseball. That's championship baseball. That team is what you need to win in the postseason. Just when you get a runner on first, move him over. You got 2 shots to get him in. Not hope he hits a 2-run homer. You're not going to hit a 2-run homer. You're going to strike out 17 times. That's what you're going to do.
You know how many times we see they got first and second and nobody out, and you should
it's a joke
to stay out of the double play in the fourth and get second and third. You know what? You got 2 shots to get him in, a fly ball and out to the other side on the ground or get the run in. It's all about getting runs in.
Absolute joke.
Kurt and Clams, I'm going to jump in for 2 reasons here. It's our halfway point, and maybe our viewers who tuned in missed the opening of the show. Clams, I wanted to come back to how you kind of opened our show, if that's okay to do right now. We're talking about how, giving students and teenagers and young adults and adults with disabilities a chance in the workforce. Would you mind speaking to that again?
Yeah. Anybody, with disabilities or handicapped or special needs, adults, young adults and teenagers, they're out in the field. They want to work. They're looking for jobs. Give them a hand. Help them out. Open your door. If somebody has a business or you have a business, let's get them work. It's tough out there. It's hard out there being a pimp. You know what I'm saying? So let's give them some jobs. Open the door for them. Everybody's got to earn a living. Everybody wants a ham sandwich. You know what I mean?
And Kurt and Clams, now you want to move on to specifically talking about Steinbrenner, Boone, and Cashman one at a time?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do Steinbrenner as an owner. Do you want to start us off this time, Kurt?
Yeah, I'm going to be, I think I'm going to be a little different than Clams on this. I know a lot of people are after him and stuff like that, but he's spending the money. right? I mean, I'm not going to say he's cheaping out. He's really not. The problem is the money's being wasted on garbage, So is he his father? No. See, I don't like him because the only reason I'm going to say I don't like him is his father wouldn't tolerate this. He would have cleaned out the analytic office, and Cashman would have been. He probably would have just threw him out of the office, not even told him, just physically thrown him out of the office. Boone would be gone with them, popping his gum, and they would be gone. So that's the one thing I don't like about Steinbrenner. But the money aspect, he's still spending the money. It's just the person who's spending the money is just destroying the team. So when is Steinbrenner going to really realize? Again, I understand he's not like a baseball guy like his father was. And it's probably like, okay, I trust Cashman, let him do what he does. I'll do my business thing. But, I think he would, he is spending the money, but I think it has to happen soon because this has not worked. It has not worked. It doesn't look promising. So I think you're going to see a move very shortly with him.
How about you, Clams? Your
You
thoughts
know
on
what?
Steinbrenner?
Hal gave Cashman a 4-year deal, $5 million a year. He ain't gonna go anywhere. I'm telling you, I don't think he's not gonna get rid of him. They're friends, and I just can't believe how Hal. See, you just didn't buy this team. You've been born into this team. You're the same age. We're about the same age. You're in your mid-50s. How do you not sit there and say this ain't? How could you let this go on for 5 years and see this is not the right way? This is not how it goes. How are you not mad, banging walls and going crazy? I mean, since the father died, they did a about face on everything. We're soft, we're sloppy. We got no heart, no guts. That all that glory is out. It's not there. I just can't believe that he's letting this happen. It's mind-boggling. You know what it is? It shows me that you don't care because as long as you're making the money and selling the jersey, hey, it's a crapshoot. If we win, we win. Whatever. But I'm still, the seats they're sold out every game, so he doesn't care. There's $24 for a beer, $10 a hot dog, whatever. Big Beats, my friend, gets the big bucket with him and his kids. The chicken and the French fries, $50 a piece, whatever that thing is. He doesn't care. Listen, when the old man was here, everybody says, well, he ain't here no more. But that's what we're used to. This is what you told us. This is what you said. We're the Yankees. We're different than everybody else.
Yep.
We're an institution. We're a secret society. We do things one way. We have 2 jerseys, home and away. We don't have 7 jerseys with the colors and all that. We're different than everybody else. We're special. We got the most championships than anybody else. Don't you want to be a champion? I don't think he cares. It doesn't bother him. Not to the extent that it bothers me and all the real Yankee fans, except for the sheep, like a guy like Scoops, who just became a Yankee fan yesterday. He thinks, oh, this is good because he looks at the numbers and how the bat speed is and the barrel and analytics. No, go with the eye test. See what you see on the field. It's garbage. He's got garbage on the field.
All right. How about Boone? Kurt, back to you.
Yeah, again, just a total puppet. I'll use the word as a total puppet. He'll come on the Michael K show. I'm the one making the decision. I mean, just stop lying, man. Stop lying. Like Joey just said, Herman taking him out after 70 pitches. I mean, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. First and second, how many times I'm watching it? They were playing the other day. First and second, I think they're down a run. First and second, Torres is up, double play. Pop up, game's over. Like, bunt the ball, man. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Savage is in the box. I'm popping the gum. Stop with the antics. Listen, if you went into a fight last year with the Astros, it was like a mockery. They mocked you last year. And where's your answer? Where I get thrown out of games.
Yeah.
Come on, stop. Don't get thrown out of games. You got the Mets, you got Baltimore, you got Tampa, you got Houston. Win those games. Don't get thrown. Win the games. You're the manager, damn it. I don't care. And stop being a puppet. If you go and say, hey, Volpe's batting first. We don't hear what the Lewis and Gilbert from Revenge of the Nerds got to say in Office 10 because they're looking at, they don't know what a baseball is, but they're looking at a computer. Be a manager. Be a man. Be a manager. Manage the team. Because you know what? If like we were saying, if Father Steinbrenner was there, you would be gone. Gone. That's my thoughts. He's a puppet. Stop being a puppet. Manage the team.
All right, Clams.
Yeah, well, Boone is like Fredo from The Godfather. He just gets told, give Fredo this Mickey Mouse outfit to run. Let him do this. They got him there because they say we can control him. We'll just have him there because he's a good talker in the media, speaks to the media well, and the players like him and all that. You're not supposed to like your manager. We're not here to make friends. We're here to win. He lost twice in the playoffs since he's been the manager to the Red Sox. He lost to Tampa Bay. He lost twice to the Astros. But Michael Kay says, he's the first manager in history to make the playoffs the first 5 years. Who cares? What does that mean? Everybody makes the playoffs.
Joe, you got a $200 million payroll. You better make the playoffs.
How do you let guys don't respect you? They're not running out of the box and you don't do anything. Gleyber Torres is so sloppy at second. They can't turn double plays. They're slow. They're the worst team in baseball turning double plays. That's supposed to help your team get out of an inning, help your pitcher, save his pitch count, because right away you're looking to take him out. He's terrible. When the playoffs come, he has no clue what he's doing. Last year, we almost lost to Cleveland. Holmes is your closer at the time, and you didn't bring him in. The AX Holmes, he goes, I don't know what happened. He's a terrible manager. Listen,
we got Eddie. Sorry, Clams. I'm sorry. I just wanted to get Eddie Murphy's comment in there, agreeing with you guys about Boone. Since Boone took over this team, they've gone backwards. Girardi took a rebuild team to Game 7 in the ALCS. Then Boone comes along, and we suck.
Jen, I know we got a bunch of other comments. You want to just take a second to read them? So we just,
you know what, I've been throwing them up on the screen, Kurt, because this way they're getting in there that way. It's just a lot to go back. It was hard to get in with you guys going on. So
okay, Joe, I just want to say, Joe, I know there's an RP from YouTube. It says a Bizio from NYC. So I know he's checking in. I want to make sure.
That's my man, Bizio.
I want to just give him a shout out.
No, thank you. Yep, I did get his comments up. Sorry about that. Yep. So, and then we have, want to move on to Cashman?
Yeah, let me start with this, and I'm going to do this quick. I mean, this guy, first off, you got to understand something. And we have his picture up like this, like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it's the case. But you got to remember this. And going back to when first off, he wasn't when people say he was the GM with the championship years, he wasn't. It wasn't his team. It was, Stick Michael and Watson. So it wasn't Cashman. All right. So let's get that out of there. But when he took over, he had such an advantage financially over every team in baseball. Right. I mean, think about it. They were, I'm not going to say 2-to-1 spenders, but sometimes in some seasons they were 2-to-1 outspending teams. So the advantage that they have, and he's been to one World Series and he can't get back to the World Series being the most paid, the highest paid team in baseball. What this guy has done, and we're going to win championships. I don't want a championship. Well, how do you get 2, 3, and 4 without one? This guy has been a colossal failure. I'm just going to read some things. I'm going to be quick. Took on salary for Donaldson and IKF. Instead of getting Luis Castillo, pairing him with Garrett Cole, you got Frankie Montas. Frankie Montas pitched as much as me and Joey Clams this year. He traded for James Paxton. He wouldn't trade Sheffield for Machado, but he got him for James Paxton. How'd that work out? Here's my favorite. 2017. You could have had Justin Verlander. Nah, we're going to go get Sonny Gray. Not only you didn't get Verlander, he went to Houston and he just beat your ass year after year after year after year. Sonny Gray got shipped out. Let's go back a little more. Mike Lowe from the Marlins. That worked out good. You signed Ellsbury, 7 years, $153 million.
That's
Did
a
he play
beauty.
3 years? Did he play 3? How many years did
No,
they
he didn't
pay
play
him? He
one.
didn't even play.
He didn't
Right?
play.
They traded away Tyler Clippard. He signed Carl Pavano, Kayagawa. Okay, he pitched 16 games in the end. He paid $26 million to get him, then another $20 million to pay him. 16 games, 6.66 ERA. He gave Chapman in 2019 a 3-year, $48 million extension. They wound up, don't even play him anymore. Just sit him. We can't even pitch him. They traded Andrew Miller for Clint Frazier. We'll get into him in a little bit. Michael Pineda, remember he was going to be the ace? Jamie Garcia in 2017. Here's the big one. J.A. Happ. He was the answer to all our prayers. Then they gave him an extension, 2 years, $34 million. Came the postseason, wasn't even on the roster. Andrew Haney. Remember Andrew Haney? Then Aaron Hicks. 7 years, $70 million extension.
The guy was a potato chip.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Aaron Hicks, not even a Major League Baseball player, and he's got 7 years. This guy has collected, seriously, garbage as a GM. He had an advantage. What I equivalent to this to is like Alabama, right? We'll give Cassie a shout out, Jen, with Alabama and Nick Saban and having all the NIL money they want. And him going and saying, I'm going to get all these 5-star recruit players and we never win a national championship at Alabama, but we're out spending everybody. He has turned this franchise upside down, this general manager. Problem number 1, problem number 2, problem number 3. We're going to get into the fact, Joe, of, okay, we're in a championship window. We can't trade Clint Frazier. We can't trade Florio. We can't trade Miguel Andujar. What'd you get for him? How did they produce on the Yankees? Oh, they don't produce on the Yankees. So what'd you get for him? We got nothing for him.
Kurt, why don't we give Clams a chance to speak here? And before he does, Clams, we got a shout out to you from a Mr. J Dub 721 on YouTube saying, Clams, Johnny from Smith Street, shout out, Clams on the money.
How you doing, my man? Hang in there, pal. We'll get him. This guy Cashman is a narcissist and a manipulator and a liar. He couldn't wait for the old man to pass away so he could dig his meat hooks into this team, and he destroyed it. They're the softest, sloppiest team, no fundamentals. They're always hurt. They got no heart, no guts. He pushed all the old Yankees out. Anybody that was giving him back, talking about the analytics and saying, this is how we do it, this is how you're going to win, he pushed him out. He threw Reggie out the door. I was there in 77. Me and my father and Reggie hit the 3 out. Scoops. I'm a Yankee fan. I can say that. You've been a Yankee fan for 2 cents. This guy destroyed. The biggest comment when he says lefties were going to be dinosaurs, they're going to be out of baseball. He went with an all-righty lineup, all DHs, all right fielders, with the shortest porch in baseball. That is the most insane comment I ever heard. That is crazy. He destroyed the team. He's got to go. But he can't. They're locked together. I don't know why him and Hal are locked together, but Cashman is terrible. Now he went and got, I think we might need lefties. He went and got Gallo. Then he went and got Rizzo. Rizzo's long in the tooth. Gallo's gone. And now he's bringing up these other guys. Frenchie Cordero. They're little ham and eggers. They're guys that they're platoon guys like that. He didn't want Bryce Harper. Are you out of your mind? Bryce Harper, you know what would have been called in right field bleachers? That would have been called the Harper Bomb Squad over there. This guy he destroyed this team. Soon as Steinbrenner, he hasn't did anything since Steinbrenner passed away. The Giants won 3 World Series since then. The Kansas City Royals won a World Series and been to back-to-back ones. The Mets been to a World Series. Texas Rangers been to 2. The Red Sox won World Series. The Astros beat you 4 times, Cashman, 4 times. You're at the bottom in your division. That's embarrassing. You're embarrassing. People, we'll make the playoffs. So we're in a tough division. Nah, we're different than anybody else. That's what we were told. That's how we were brought up. This guy's got to go.
But Joe, you know what it is though, too, Joe? And you mentioned Michael Kay, and when you listen to it, it's oh my God, this lineup is just they're studs down 1 through 9. Where? The lineup's terrible. Who's studs? Gleyber Torres is a stud. Miguel Andujar was a stud. Remember Greg Bird, right? Remember Gary? Oh, we got Gary Sanchez, Hall of Famer next year. Hall of Famer.
Well, let me say something about Sanchez. Here's another thing that's the problem. They don't fix these guys. You had this guy behind the plate, and he couldn't block a ball. He looked worse than Little League. He had no fundamentals behind the plate. They don't fix him. Listen, talented guy. You didn't fix him. Gleyber Torres was talented. That first year he was good, but you let him go. You let him get away with it. They don't fix anybody. They let them get away. They let them get away with garbage.
But Joe, you know what, Joe? You had a chance. You had a chance in 17 and 19, and you were a pitcher away, right? You didn't have the pitcher. You need a pitcher away. You could get Verlander last year. You could get Castillo, and they won't trade. I can't give up Miguel Andujar. I can't give up this guy. I can't give up Clint Frazier. Like, for me, I would fire him that year. That year, he doesn't get Verlander. Verlander goes to the Astros. I'm firing him on the spot.
How long has Esteban Florio, number one prospect on the Yankee organization, has been in the minor leagues? They bring him up for 3 games. He gets 4 at bats. They send him back down. Because you know what he wants to do? He wants to keep you down so you don't become a free agent until you're 32 or 33.
All right, guys, I'm going to move us along to our next topic here. You've touched along a lot of these. Let me get a couple comments in here. Eddie Murphy saying he loves Rizzo, but they had a chance to get Freeman or Olsen. Kenny saying Gary Sanchez was the problem. The problem was trading him to the Twins with Urshela. Cashman quoted saying Urshela is no Donaldson. I think that's what that said. I didn't put my glasses on. Moving on, guys, to why have the Yankees held on to their prospects and why have they failed? Clam, do you want to start us on this one?
Well, yeah, you know why they hold on to them and they ruin them. They ruin them mentally too, because a guy like Esteban Florio, if he had all that talent, you should have brought him up and let him play. And if he didn't, then you should have got rid of him 3-4 years ago when he still had value. There's no value in him now. You ruin all your prospects. Where's all their good prospects? The only one they just brought up is Volpe, and then there was Judge. That's it. Everybody else, you ruined them. Miguel Andujar, he's another guy. If you didn't have a place for him to play, you should have traded him. They tried to put him in left field. They tried to put him at third base. No, he's a designated hitter. Gary Sanchez is not a catcher. He's a designated hitter. They load up on the same, John Carlos said, he's not an outfielder, he's another designated hitter. They load up on the same positions. They clog the system. Said you can't bring anybody in. What happened to that pitcher Garcia? He pitched that 1 inning against in the playoffs, and they took him out. They bring Jay Happ in to pitch the top of the second. The guy is a starter. He's not used to coming in out of the bullpen without warming up. They're a creature of habit starting pitchers. What did he do? He blew up on the field. He's a gas can.
Your thoughts, Kurt, on the Yankee prospects being held on to and why they failed?
It's a flawed operation, right? Like I'm going to get into a comment Scoop said. I might even fall off the chair while I'm doing the show live, but it's an example of what Joe was saying. But I watch the Atlanta Braves. They're the best team in baseball, right? Bring their guys right up. Boom. We need you. Play. Here, I'm telling them this deadline, I either want them up, I want Dominguez up, I want Peraza up, I want them up and playing, or you know what? Package them. What are you saving them for? You were in a championship window in 17, 18. You're in a championship window. You could have gone out and got like an older Baumgartner. And now Baumgartner's your number 3 in a playoff series. Nope, we're going to keep these guys. And they sit on the bench. They don't play in the postseason. They don't come up. Michael K ripped Obi Top. Michael K was ripping Leon Rose the other day. Oh, look, the Knicks drafted him number 8, and all they got was a second-round pick for him. Well, hey, Michael, what did they get for Andujar? What did they get for Greg Bird? What did they get for any of these Davy Garcia? What did they get for Clint Frazier? What did they get for? They got nothing. Nothing. They didn't play. And they didn't get anything for him. So that's where he's a hypocrite. And that's why I would listen. I'd love to debate, but the thing is, he can't say that, right? He can't talk bad about it because he works for yes. So he can't talk bad about it. But he could, badmouth Leon Rose. But what he's saying to Leon Rose, that's what Brian Cashman did. That's exactly what he did. But, me, I'm telling him, if I'm Steinbrenner, I either want the kids up or all those kids are, you want them, call, we're going to package them. Like the Scoop.
What did Scoop say?
Scoops were saying, if the Yankees could trade for Ohtani, we were just throwing Kenny, we were just throwing packages. And he was like, oh, I don't know, like, it might be too much. I can't give up everything. You got nothing. You got, besides Cole and maybe Judge, you got nothing. Nothing.
Hey,
I can't give up Volpe and Dominguez. And by the way, Dominguez is in double and 200. I can't give up Dominguez and Peraza. And, oh, my God, too much to give up. For what? Who are you giving up? You have nothing.
Listen, you know what the Nationals did the year they won the World Series? You know who they bring up? Juan Soto as a 19-year-old. They brought him up. And they won the World Series.
Why not?
If the kids are talented, bring them up.
Bring them up.
Listen, there's going to be
Atlanta doesn't.
You brought up Volpe. There's going to be growing pains. He shows that he could play the game. He's got to get cleaned up a little bit. I hope they don't ruin him.
We got a comment.
Bring these kids up.
Comment coming in from Kenny saying, "Oh, if you have Ohtani, you trade everyone and anyone, including Judge." And then we have a comment from Eddie Murphy to throw out to you guys. They promoted Wells to AAA last week. You think we see him this season?
I mean, I'll get back to. Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see him. You might see him maybe in September. They're gonna bring him up.
I'll answer Kenny's comment. Absolutely. Listen, for Ohtani, you trade anything for him. Anything. I'm sorry. He's the best player, not only in baseball. He's the best player since I'm 48. Best player I've ever seen. He's the best player since Babe Ruth. So you trade whatever it is to go get this guy. Because you know what? I could tell you this. I would take my chances with Ohtani and Cole going into a playoff series than anything you got now. Anything you got. Give me Ohtani and Cole. I got a chance to win that series. And you know what? We'll get back to what Kenny's saying too. Judge in the playoffs is garbage. Absolutely. Listen, I can talk an hour about that. I don't want to hear it. He's another one. Just coincidentally, every year the guy's hurt, except last year, because he wants the contract. You know what? The captain. Hey, you know what? Hey, Joe, let's go. Let's get the foot. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get him back.
Judge got hurt running through a wall.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
And here's the one thing about Ohtani. You know what? Judge carried his team to get to the playoffs. Ohtani hasn't sniffed the playoff yet.
But you know what? I want it done in the postseason. Do it in the postseason. Do it in the postseason. Yeah. You know what? All I heard, and I'm 1 second, Jen. I'm sorry. All I heard, I just don't want to lose this thought. All I heard from is as a diehard Knick fan, and I was the other one saying it. Randall in the postseason means nothing. It means nothing what he does in the regular season. So it doesn't in baseball either. Randall's choked. Judge is choked. That's plain facts. Plain facts. No one can debate it. It's plain facts.
Clams, I'm going to come to you with this question from Jody Moncrief. Would you trade Judge for Ohtani?
I got to really think about that because you know what? Judge is, he's going to be your right fielder for the next 5 years. And, who knows if they would move him to first base or something like that. But you might have to because, you know what? Ohtani's a lefty and he pitches. So that's a big thing. But I don't think it'll happen.
I have a couple other comments I want to get in here before we move you guys on. Eddie Murphy saying, my thing about Ohtani is I've seen him play in the Bronx as a visitor. He's been garbage. What makes you think he's going to change as a home player? Mike the Mush saying, Jeter ran into a seat and played the next game. Judge has an ingrown toenail and can't play at all. He's the captain of the Yankees. Get out there and play.
The guy ran through a wall. What are you talking about? He ran into a cement wall and busted his foot. He's 277 pounds at 6'7".
You know what, though, Joe? I disagree with you on one thing.
Fault.
I'm giving a drink to Mikey Mush because you know what? I don't want to. Here's what's going to happen. They're not going to play him And then Cashman, oh, we didn't want to play him. Boone's going to pop gum and say, we don't. You're the captain now. Go on the field and play. If you, you know what? DH him, get up there and hit. The team's struggling. You're in last place with a $200 million payroll. Get on the field. Do whatever you got to get on the field. You're
This
the
is a
captain
big.
now.
This is the next big week and a half for the Yankees right here. This season's on the line right now. They got to they got to put it together. But they can't hit a cutoffs to the bases. Three out of 4 games last week they got thrown out at third base going from second to third with the ball hit the shortstop. Come on, that's coaching. That's like what's going on in that dugout. That whole coaching staff is terrible.
Nothing.
It's the worst coaching staff that I've seen since I'm a Yankee fan.
Kenny saying Clams, if Judge was on a contract year, he would be playing. Tracy and Kurt is agreeing with you 100%. I think about all of those things. And Jody Moncrief is saying trade Cole and let him be part of a winner. Guys, I'm going to move you into, we kind of already did the coaching staff.
Go
ahead, Clams.
Hoops, you know what? Kenny, the guy's got a broken bone in his foot. And you're knocking this guy. Meanwhile, you're giving Connor Flipper a grade A. Come on, go watch your Baltimore Orioles. They're in first place. You're not a Yankee fan. Go have some crab cakes in Maryland. Have a good night, buddy.
Mr. J Dub 721 saying tell Ryan Lindgren to go out there with the bad toe. He'll be there in the next shift. Judge is a wuss. So we got a little conflicting interest on the conflicting opinion on Judge there. Kurt and Clams, do you agree? You guys already kind of discussed why there's no former Yankees in the dugout with a few minutes left. Do you want to move into the why so analytical? Why home run strikeouts? Why not build teams like the past?
Yeah.
All right, who wants to start us off on this one?
Go ahead, Kurt, you go first.
Yeah, listen, I said it again. So analytical. I don't believe in it. It's not true. It's fake news. I mean, my word is fake news. It doesn't exist, right? It's again, I'll go real quick. And I heard Mark Schlereth, 104.3 The Fan, former Redskin and Bronco great O-lineman. Okay, well, if when you play against the Rams from 2 years ago, if we run it left, it's 70% good. If we run it right, it's only 30% good. You know what he said? I'm going to look at the defense. Where's Aaron Donald and where's Von Miller? If they're right, I'm going left. I don't care. Rip the paper up. It means nothing. Same thing in football. It's 4th and 1. Oh my God. Their 4th down defense is so good. We can't listen. I'm tougher than you. Hey, we're running ISO right down your throat for 4 yards. It's garbage. It's garbage because, I saw it last year. Edwin Diaz is pitching against somebody from Atlanta. It was not Acuna, the second batter. I forgot his name, but anyway, he was like 0 for 17 with 18 strikeouts. That analytics would take him out, but nope. He bats second. He's a star in Atlanta. He plays up. 3 pitches, bing, 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 strike 3. There's no analytics. The analytics is, okay, the number 9 batter, we'll switch that. So it's BS. First thing I would do, like I said, Revenge of the Nerds, Lewis, Gilbert, those guys in the analytic, they have no idea what baseball's about, never played baseball, don't even know it's round. I would just throw them right out of the office. You're gone. You're not part of this franchise. We don't do this here. That's Mickey Mouse. We don't do this here. We play baseball. We don't play analytics. Okay. Number 2, home run strike. That doesn't work. It works versus the Royals. It works versus the A's. It doesn't work in the postseason. You've seen it. It doesn't work. Get rid of it. Last one. Why not build teams like the past? Again, it's Brian Cashman. I'm going to try to reinvent something. No. It's about pitching. It's about good defense. It's about getting on base, timely hitting, batting average, clutch hits. That's how you win a championship. Not analytics, not home run. That doesn't work. Do what always happened in baseball, just like football, run the ball, play defense. It never changed. So get back to that. That's how you win. This is garbage. It's not going to win.
All right, Clams, how about you?
Yeah, the other day on the Michael K show, Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod was on there, and he piggybacked a lot what I said. He said when him and G or a couple of guys were having a hard time and they were struggling, They would go to a veteran that played the game that was a Yankee. They went to a guy like Reggie Jackson or Willie Randolph or Lee Mazzilli or Don Zimmer or Larry Bowa, guys that played the game. There's nobody. If you're a major league player now in the Yankees, who are you going to in the dugout? Who you're going to listen to somebody that never stepped on the field? This is what A-Rod's saying. And A-Rod also said with the analytics, that's good. It ain't good for tomorrow. How do you know? You got to go with the eye test. How do you know how this guy's feeling? You got to go with the test. How you feel? You got to see what's going on in the game. You can't blueprint baseball. It changes. Anything in sports, it changes. You can't go out there with a blueprint. You got to go with the eye test and your gut, and you got to see. And you got to go with a feel. They don't have that. They go by numbers. He pitched 74 pitches. Take him out. No, he's rolling. He's feeling good today. He's on a roll. They don't believe in how. They give guys days off. They have it planned out for a month. All right, April 18th, that's going to be your day off. Are you out of your mind? What are you doing? It's terrible what's going on in this game and with the team. It's embarrassing. I won't even walk out the door with my jersey on or my hat. I'm embarrassed right now.
Kenny's kind of echoing those sentiments, Clam, saying he's not a fan of this team. Why would I be a fan of guys making $300 million like Stanton, batting under 200? It's trash to watch, and I won't support it. Bring up the kids, and I'll be a fan. And Eddie Murphy saying he heard you on the Michael Kay show once, and he said he thinks Rosenberg is scared of you.
You know what, Jen? I want to add one more thing, and I'll start, and then I'm going to go to Clams. So, if you don't mind, Hoops. Clams, what would you do, right? This is what I would do. To fix this Yankee team. One, I'm blowing out the entire front office. Cashman is gone. The whole analytics, I tell you, I'm throwing them right out the window. They're gone. That'll never be back in my building. Cashman's gone. Boone's gone. This team needs, first and foremost, a disciplinarian as a manager, like you said. Okay. And you know what? I want it to be a Yankee. I want it to be an ex-Yankee because you have to understand. And I don't mean Aaron Boone. Come on. One hit he had. Stop. I want a legit Yankee that's going to say, this is how we do things. This is not what we're not the Marlins. We're not the Pirates. We're not that. We're the Yankees. This is what we're going to do. Discipline. We're not, like I said, we're not going to be 1 for 21, hit a home run and point in the stands, flex. We're not doing that. You do it, you're gone. You're off. You're gone. You're not going to. Let me ask you something. Did you ever see Bernie Williams doing this and point? You ever see that? I saw him fired up in a dugout, fired up. We're not flexing. This team has what? Gleyber Torres is not a winning player. He's not. What has he ever won? Where? What has he ever done? Like, oh, man, he's clutch. He doesn't. So first and foremost, again, front office gone. I'm getting an ex-Yankee as a manager. Tracy said Don Mattingly. Put Don Mattingly.
That's it, Tracy. That's who you bring Don Mattingly in here because when Don Mattingly was the player and the captain, there was a problem going on with Bernie Williams and what's his name? Mel. They had a problem. He was bothering him, and Donnie says, "We don't do that here. Not here." 2 days later, he was Mel Hall. Mel Hall was gone.
Number two, again, the analytics gone. No more analytics. That's gone. We're gonna hire a general manager who, again, we will communicate with the manager. There is no. Here's the lineup today for Mr. Manning. Don, you're gonna run the team. Who do you want 1 through 9?
Yeah,
who do you want?
Hey,
real quick, I just want to. If you want Cole to go 98 pitches today, Cole goes 98 pitches. And last thing, with the new general manager, I'm telling him either two things: either one, with the farm club, Dominguez, those guys, either they're on the roster playing, or everyone's for sale. We're not trading him. Absolutely not. If he's the top prospect, put him on the Yankees.
With the farm, you should know if you're down there. You should know if this guy's going to play a player or not within 1 or 2 years. You can't hang on to him for 6, 7, 8 years. Okay, you can't do that. That's impossible. What was I going to say?
While you're getting your thought there, Joey, let me get some comments. We have Eddie Murphy saying, would you bring Jeter in as a GM? I've heard a lot of fans would want that. And Tracy Ann is saying Jeter as GM.
I don't know if Derek Jeter wants it. A-Rod would be the guy to bring in, that somebody knows. And you do need a little bit of the analytics. A-Rod knows everything about baseball. But you got to, here's another thing I want to get back to. This was my thought was. Every day there's a different lineup. How is the second baseman and the shortstop get any flow, any rhythm together when it's a different guy every day, different guy at third base? Have a set lineup and play them. Every day there's a different lineup at third, short, second. We don't even have a left fielder. Every day there's a different position in center field. You can't win that way. You got to have, here's my shortstop. Last year, 5 different shortstops played in 9 games in the playoffs. That's not a winning formula. No way. Bring Donnie Mattingly in. Bring Willie Randolph in. Bring John Flaherty from the booth. Bring him in. He's a tough-nosed guy. These guys need discipline. You can't have a guy. You got to bench a guy. If he's not hustling, you bench him for 2 games. He can't bench Gleyber Torres. He's our best hitter. No. Sometimes you cut off the toes to save the leg. You got to do it. You got to sacrifice. You don't do that here. Somebody's got to grab him. Judge, he shows his example on the field, but I don't think he gets in anybody's ear in the dugout or in the locker room. Everybody's too friendly. Everybody's nice. Greg Nettles would have threw you through a wall. Lou Pinello would have busted you up. Munson would have got in your face. You know what? Billy Martin ran out, told Paul Blair, take Reggie out of right field. He dogged it. Jim Rice got a double on that base hit to right field. Reggie came in. They went at it. And you know what? You know what happened at the end of the year? They won. This team doesn't have any guts, no fight.
Tracy Ann suggesting Bernie, O'Neill, or Tino as hitting coaches. I like Eddie Murphy comment here about A-Rod. If you're going to have A-Rod, he's going to have the needles ready in a bowl in the office.
I don't know. He's got a ring. He's got a ring with the Yankees. He produced in the playoffs. A-Rod busted it out. A-Rod, you never seen A-Rod ever jog in the first base. He busted his helmet's flying off. Can't knock A-Rod.
Tracy also suggesting Posada as one of the coaches, and Kenny commenting in that Volpe needs to sit out and watch a game from the bench.
Kenny just said that he's not watching the Yankees. He's not a Yankee fan. Don't worry about it. Worry about the Orioles. You're in first place. Don't worry about the Yankees. You're not a Yankee fan. Giving this guy grade A. Oh, a hoops.
Yeah.
You got any comments from what's his name, Abizio, NYC? Because I know he wanted to call up and wanted to be heard a little bit. He had a couple of comments. If you find any. RP, Abizio, NYC.
I'm looking here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I see
one from RP. Jen, can you want me to read it, or? It just says Bader plays part through Montgomery, not Cy Young. He's thrown 5-7 innings most games.
My apologies to him. I threw his comments up on the screen. It was hard to get a word in at one point with you guys going vent in your Yankees venting session.
The other one I do see, Joe, it says, who agreed to let Montgomery go for part-time Bader?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Who's Bader? They got him out to be like Jim Emmons. Who is this guy? Oh, we got Bader. He's great. He didn't play last year. He played last week in September, and then this year he was starting out on the DL. Then he's always hurt. He's got a bad leg. He's got a concussion. It seems like that's the whole team. Every year. You see Stanton's always out for 6 weeks during the year. You know why? Because he's got to load up and juice up again.
Tracy's suggesting David Cohn or Pettit as pitching coaches, and Jody Moncrief is posing the question, is trading Cole an option?
No. Absolutely not. He's your best player.
How can they do it? Yeah, I don't think they could do it.
He's your best player. He's the only guy you got.
Right.
Look at your pitching staff. Who's next after game 1? Who do you got?
Andy Pettit?
They love Savarino. Remember Savarino? Savarino's going to be the savior.
How about Davey Garcia? Remember that? Oh, this guy's Dwight Gooden Jr. Wait till they get him up.
He pitched 1 inning, and Boone took him out, and he brought in Hack in the playoffs in the deciding game.
Closing thoughts, guys. Kurt, why don't we have you first? This way, Joey Clams can have the final word.
Yeah, again, this was a great show, Joe. I'm just gonna say this, and when I'll answer Scoops and he's throwing numbers out, but you gotta be reasonable, right? I'm a diehard Knick fan, okay, but right now we are not a championship contender. We're not. I'm being realistic. Julius Randle is not a 1, is not a 2. You have to be realistic. When you talk to Scoops, but we got this guy and this guy and this. You got garbage, Scoops. You got a garbage roster. Garbage. Jody just asked a comment about trading Garrett Cole. Who else can you possibly trade on this roster? Nobody. Nobody wants any of these guys. And then to turn around and say, well, I don't know. We might give up too much for Ohtani. I would, if the Angels called and said we want him, and him, I would get those 6 guys on a plane as fast as they can and send them to the Angels to bring him in here. Come on. This team is not going anywhere. When we watch Cobra Kai, Jen, what did what's his name say? Chosen. Cut off the head of the snake. The head of the snake is Cashman. He's got to go. The Yankees were always fun to watch, exciting. Now they're boring. They're no fun. They're strikeout team. Bring back this 90 team, man. Bring it back. Get Mattingly as the manager. Get Jeter involved. Those guys are winners. They know this. Nobody on this team's winners. Nobody. Nobody's a winner. Cole, yeah, he's a winner. But these guys, nobody's a winner. Bring it back. You'll get the Yankees back, and they'll become the Yankees of again. This isn't the New York Yankees we grew up with.
All right, Clams, the final word is yours.
Yeah, just for Scoops, I can't see anything with your numbers. Here's the numbers. 2009 is the last time we won. Okay, that's all that counts. I don't want to hear about this or that with your numbers and this. The team stinks. They're terrible. It's a garbage team, and Cashman is garbage. Cashman destroyed this team, and all Yankee fans out there, don't spend it. If you already bought tickets, fine. Try to get rid of them. Do not spend your money on this team. This is where the only time we could hurt them is in their pockets, because they're not going to put a winner on the field. He's not going to get rid of Cashman. He's just signed with their buddies. Their wives hang out. They all go for martinis, and they all hang out together. And Boone's a part of that, too. Boone's part of that crew, too. They're all nice. They don't want tough guys there. They don't want guys that put their hands through the wall and want to win it on the field. They don't want that. Cashman destroyed this organization. And when they get to the playoffs, they'll probably get there. They might. I don't know. The Blue Jays are still ahead of them. When they get to the playoffs, they'll be one and done. That's because Boone can't manage in the playoffs. It's terrible. You need a whole rebuild, a whole new philosophy, even down in the farm system. What's going on? What's going on down there that this guy Florio is still bouncing around down there? You should have got rid of him. What are you waiting for? Bring him up. You should have brought him up and let him play. We'll get rid of him. Just get him out. He's holding up somebody else's spot there. And I want to thank everybody for coming in and watching our show tonight. And another thing to the handicapped and disabled, let's go. Give them some work. Even if you got to let them work the door at the bar, bounce or something like that, give them something. We got to earn. Everybody wants to eat.
Kurt and Clams, I think you might have a rebuttal to the rebuttal show from Scoops and Kenny coming up. Kenny saying that him and Scoops should do a Broncos rebuttal because Kurt, he's likening your stats for grades for Broncos are very similar to.
Yeah, well, you know what? Kenny and Scoops would have to go back to college and back into the books because they don't know anything about the Broncos. They won't be able to do that. They're gonna have to They would have to spend at least a month on research to be able to. I
want to know if Scoops ever watched the old Yankees, because you could go on YouTube, just put anything. Watch the old Yankees. Look at how they passed the torch from Root to Garrett to DiMaggio, the Mantle to Whitey, Yogi, Elston Howard, Mercer, Reggie, Thurman Munson. They passed the torch. It was pride, you know. These guys played hurt. Thurman Munson played hurt in 1978. He caught 156 games with a bad shoulder. He played. Oh, let's give a guy the day off. Oh, come on. It's time. This ain't Yankee baseball. This is not Yankee baseball.
I'm with you on that, Joe. That's the comment of the night. It's not. It's not what I grew up watching. I'll tell you that. So,
final comment of the night, Tracy Ann saying, great show. So Kurt and Clams,
thank
nice
you, Tracy.
rebuttal.
How you doing? Make it a Peppers.
all right, guys. Jen, thank you so much for doing this again. It's so much easier when you're behind the scenes. You might be doing this as a full-time job. So,
hey, one more thing. Tell Sonny Black to go in his pocket and buy the house a drink. He, stop having the short arms. Let's go, Sonny. Put your money out and buy a drink for everybody at the bar.
but thank you again, Jen, for doing this. You did 2 nights in a row. You do a great job behind the scenes. Made it easier for me and Joey Clams tonight.
Oh, one more thing. Happy birthday to Loretta Basso. That's Bizio's sweetheart. How you doing, my man?
Oh, happy birthday.
And Jody's saying you should ask for a raise, Jen.
Good idea.
There you go.
Good job. Thank you, Jen. You did an unbelievable job tonight. Thanks for everybody watching us, tuning in. Let's go.
And we'll be back. Probably doing another one soon, Joe.
Hey, another week and a half is a big week. This is big 10 days for the Yankees right now. They got a couple big series coming up. Baltimore, Houston, the Rays, and they got the Mets this week too.
So we should be back in 10. You know what?
And they're going to be buying. They'll be buying. Believe me, they always buy.
Okay.
They try to fix something. They like to camouflage it. He's a narcissist, Cashman. He tries to cover everything. You know what he does to the sheep like Scoops? Scoops gets fooled by the guy in the park with the magic trick. Oh, he finds the quarter behind his ear. Oh, look at him. Santa Claus, Scoops, right? You're a Yankee fan for 3 days. Stop. Go watch Yankee baseball. Watch when Benitez hit Tino in the back, what happened with a bench clearing ball. That's Yankee baseball. Look at Nettles. Go back to Nettles in 76. Him and Brett at third base fist fighting. They didn't even get thrown out of the game. Go back to that. Go watch that. Watch Willie Randolph turning a double play, getting barreled over by Hal McRae and Frank White hanging in there. That's a guy you'll go watch play second base, Willie Randolph. Not this guy Torres.
We can't leave on a better note than that. So, Joey, thank you. Jen, thank you. Everybody that watched and comment, thank you. And I believe we probably will be back very shortly. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bertha forever.